Hi everyone. In this video I'm going to show how to take a Raspberry Pi camera module, this little guy right here, and use it with your Raspberry Pi and a web server that you have set up, which I showed in a previous video, and I'll show you how to make that an internet connected camera. So we can see here that if I tilt the camera up and aim it at my phone, alright, so you can see that kind of neat little reflection effect as it takes a photo of a photo of a photo of a photo. And yeah, so it's online, it's working, and it's a really simple, easy way to make an internet connected camera. Doesn't require a whole lot of processing power, doesn't require a whole lot of bandwidth, and it's just a great way if you want to just kind of casually monitor an area, see an updated photo every few seconds. It's a great, simple, and low-cost way to do it. Alright, let's open up TerraTerm so we can connect to the Raspberry Pi. If you haven't seen my earlier videos, I'll put a link to the most important one down below in the video description. I cover how to use TerraTerm, how to use Secure Shell, how to figure out your Raspberry Pi's IP address, how to give it its own domain name so you can type in a .com and get right to it. Anyway, so if you haven't seen that video, check it out. It'll clarify a whole bunch of stuff. So again, we're going to log in, so you put in the IP address of your Raspberry Pi here, choose SSH for Secure Shell, click OK, and type in your username and password, and we're logged into the Raspberry Pi. So the first thing we need to do is enable the camera interface. So sudo raspi-config, press enter, and use the down arrow key. Few times, go to enable camera, press enter, and right arrow to select enable, press enter, and then right arrow a couple times to go to finish, press enter, and yes, we do want to reboot, so press enter. TerraTerm is going to close as soon as the network connection is lost to the Raspberry Pi, and I'll go ahead and wait a minute or two for the Raspberry Pi to finish starting back up. Okay, it's been a minute. I'll go ahead and bring up TerraTerm again. We'll log back into the Raspberry Pi. So we're back into the Raspberry Pi and we have the camera interface enabled. Let's see if we can take just a quick photo and verify that everything's working. So if I use ls to look at the contents of the home directory, we see that we have the HTML folder or directory which has the web page. We can go into there with cd HTML. And again, if we look with ls, we see index.html. Now on the web browser, that would be this page. If you haven't seen my earlier video, again, check it out. cgartwork.com is a domain name that I have that I use for these video demos. You'll need to use your own domain name, but that's kind of where this is coming from. And this is the contents of the index.html. So let's make a folder or a directory. I'm going to go ahead and call it camera, so mkdir camera. And let's go into that directory, cd camera. We can use ls, we see there's nothing in that folder. Let's go ahead and take a photo. Raspi still is the name of the program. -q15 is setting a quality level of 15. It's in the range of up to 100, so 0 to 100, or maybe 1 to 100. 15 might sound really low, but it's actually pretty good image quality, so don't worry too much about that. -n is for no preview, which we're doing this from the command line. We don't need to see a preview. -t100 means basically wait 100 milliseconds to figure out the exposure and then take the photo. If you wait shorter than that, I find that photos tend to be underexposed, and if you wait longer than that, you don't really seem to get much of a benefit, at least not in my experience. And then -o specifies the output file name, which I have set to photo.jpg. So if we go back to the web browser and we go to that camera directory, we see we have our photo. Now if we click on it, there it is. So we see the camera is working. I have the camera aimed at the Raspberry Pi. You'll notice the photo is blurry, but that's okay. The camera is working perfectly fine, but it's not going to focus, that close. they're only about 4 inches apart, so it isn't going to be able to focus on that. So we have our photo. There's a whole bunch of other options though. If you do raspberry still -- help. Let me resize the window. And if you press enter, it'll show some of the documentation for this program. So you'll want to read through this. You can adjust, image settings and everything. A couple things we're going to change. We're going to change the width and the height because we don't need this full resolution photo. Like if I zoom in, we have the full resolution, and in many cases you don't need that. So we can resize the photo that way. You may want to do some other stuff. Anyway, so I'm going to press the up arrow key a couple times to get back to the command. And let's try. So I added -W800 and -H600. So that should change the image size to 800 by 600. I'm going to go ahead and press enter. If I refresh the web browser, now we have a much more reasonable size photo. So for example, if you just want to kind of casually monitor something on the internet, you don't need usually the full resolution. You can just have a smaller photo. It'll load quicker, save bandwidth and everything. Now we can create a web page and make it easier, or a little bit easier. So back in TerraTerm, when we're inside the camera directory, if you do nano and then index.html, that'll let us create an empty file called index.html. Press enter, and I'm going to go ahead and type out the contents of the web page. Okay, so really simple web page. Obviously you need to have the HTML tags. In the heading we have the title, which will show up in the web browser. I'm going to just call it online camera. The next line, the meta http-equiv equals refresh, content equals 5. What that will do is it will automatically reload the web page every 5 seconds. So that'll let us have it kind of periodically refresh so that the user can see new photos. And then in the body of the web page, we just have an image, which is the photo. So that's it. Control O to write the file. Press enter. Control X to exit. Now if we go back, if we refresh, now we have we don't have to click on the photo. We can just go to the camera directory, and as you just saw, it refreshed the page, and in a couple more seconds it'll refresh again. Now if we take another photo, it will update, but right now it's just showing the old photo. And if we just if we keep executing this raspberry still command, it'll take more photos, but we want to automate it. We want it to run more frequently and periodically. So in a previous video I showed how to use cron tab, and that'll let you schedule chronological things, so things to run periodically. The only problem though is with cron tab you can't do time, resolution less than 1 minute, so you can't do it very frequently. What we're going to do instead is make a shell script, and that we have much more control over. So if we use cd, we can go back to our home directory, and I'm going to go ahead and create a script called camerascript.sh. So nano camera_script.sh, press enter, and I'll go ahead and type it out, and then I'll explain it at the end. So here we have our very simple, very short script. What we have is we have an infinite loop, and inside that loop we have 2 commands. We have the raspberry still command, which we worked with earlier. This time though we need to specify the path for the photo. Well, you don't have to, but you really should use an absolute path, a full path with /home/pi/html and so on. That way there's no confusion of, where is the relative path relative to. And then the second command is sleep to, which will just tell it to do nothing for a couple seconds. And then it'll loop back again. So basically every 2 seconds it will take a photo. So we can save the file with Control O, press enter, and then Control X to exit. Now it's a script, so we need to be able to execute that file, and we need to add that as a permission. So chmod +x camerascript.sh and press enter. So now we can run the script by hand. We can do /camerascript.sh. If you press enter, it'll start running, and your command line is going to be blinking, sitting there the entire time. Now it is actually taking new photos, but because we're just pointed at the Raspberry Pi, it isn't really obvious. So going back to TerraTerm, press Control C, and that will let us close the script. And what we need to do now is we want to actually run that script when we first power on the Raspberry Pi. That way it's kind of running in the background. Sudo nano /etc/rc.local. We're basically editing a text file which will be, or a script that'll be run every time we power on the Raspberry Pi. So press enter, and there's some comments at the top that kind of tell you what's going on. Basically, before the exit line, we're going to add our script. And so what we do is you just give it the path. So we have the path to our script, which is /home/pi/camerascript.sh. And very important, don't forget, you need to put that ampersand at the end. What that does is it tells it to run the script, but let it keep running in the background. And then it'll proceed to exit this particular file. So don't forget the ampersand, that's very important. Control O to write the file, press enter, Control X to exit. Okay, so what we have now is we have the camera working, we have a script that will take photos every couple seconds, and we have them stored on our web server so people can see it in their web browser and really anywhere on the internet. And what we need to do now is, we don't really need to do anything else. At this point you can restart the Raspberry Pi, it'll load your script, and it'll work. You'll have updated photos over here and everything will work. But one thing you might want to do is you might want to add a little bit of security. Since it's a camera and you're putting it on the internet, even if it isn't going to show anything very sensitive, you might want to add just a very basic username and password, just to keep random people out. So I'm going to show you an easy way to do that. So you do sudo nano /etc/apache2/sites enabled /000-defaults.conf. Now again, as I've mentioned in previous videos, you can use the tab key to help autocomplete, and that's how, for example, if you just type in like SI and then tab, it will complete as much as it can. And so then if you add it'll autocomplete the available. And then 0 and you press tab, it'll autocomplete the rest. So in case you weren't aware, that's an easy way to make your life a little bit easier. Alright, so press enter. Alright, this is the configuration file for the web server. What we can do is if we go all the way down after the end of virtual hosts, I'm going to add some text. So we've added about 6 lines. Basically, you do a directory tag, opening and closing tag, and then in the opening tag you specify the path to the directory that we want to control. So it's var www html camera, and then inside these tags we need to put 4 lines. Auth type basic is this particular type of authentication. Auth name restricted access is gonna that's the text it'll show if people are not able to log in. Auth user file, that's the file that will store the username and passwords. I put it in /etc/Apache2, and then the file is passwords. And then you can tell it what users you want to allow access. So I did require user, some user. So basically, if somebody logs in and their username is some user and their password is the password that I defined for that user, which we'll do in a minute, then it will let them log in. But only that user can see it, and only if they have the correct password. All right, so very simple. We can save the file with Control-O, press Enter, Control-X to exit, and now we need to assign a password for some user. So we use this command, sudo ht password -c. Oops. My mouse keeps scrolling. Okay. -c, and then the path to the file, /etc/Apache2/passwords, and then the username that you want to specify a password for. So in this example, I'm going to create a user called some user. Press Enter, and then you specify the password. And for this demo, I'm going to do some password. And press Enter, and then you type it again. Press Enter. And there we go. So I have added a user called some user, and I assigned a password of some password. Obviously, you would want to pick something a little less dumb than that. Okay, so we have our user and we have the password. We now need to reload Apache so that it will take these changes into effect. So sudo service apache2 reload, press Enter, and we'll see now when it automatically reloaded, now it's asking for a password. So username of some user, password of some password, and now we have access. Now if I let's try this again. Oh, well, I'm still logged in. If we'll try this. If I go to the website again, if I go to the camera directory, now if I don't type in a password, or if I type in the wrong one, just if I do that, obviously it isn't going to work. If I keep trying, it's just not going to work. And if I click cancel, you'll get an error. And so this is a really simple way to add password protection to your online camera. Keep in mind, we're still using HTTP, we're not using HTTPS. So it isn't the most secure way to do it, but this is a good way to keep just, kind of casual people from taking a look. But if you really need security, you need to do more research. This is not going to be some, super locked down, bulletproof type setup. Let's go take a look at it and verify that it's actually updating photos the way we think it should. So what I'm going to do is, we have the script written, but it's not actually running it right now because we haven't restarted and it isn't running that rc.local file. So we're going to restart the Raspberry Pi. So sudo shutdown -r now, press Enter, and this window is going to close and the Raspberry Pi is going to restart. So we're pretty much done on this computer, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over to the Raspberry Pi, and after a minute, when it finishes starting to boot up, I'm going to show you on my cell phone that it is working, it is on the internet, and that it's actually live and updating photos. Okay, so here we have the setup. We have the camera module right here, and I have it plugged into the Raspberry Pi. And let's see if we can get to that web page on the internet. So if I see if I can get this in the shot. All right, so if I go to Chrome, If I go to, oops, if I go to cgartwork.com/photos or /camera, it'll ask for the username and password. So it was some this may not really show up on camera, but it was some user, the password of some password. I think I might have spelled that wrong. Then we log in. Alright, so we're logged in. We have the photo, and it's updating every couple 5 seconds. It'll reload the page. Now let's see if it's actually taking a new photo. And there we have it. So we can see that it's got the camera in frame. Let me reposition the camera a little bit. Alright, so you can see that kind of neat little reflection effect as it takes a photo of a photo of a photo of a photo. And yeah, so it's online, it's working. I hope you enjoyed this video. And yeah, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. If you know anybody that might benefit from the video, please share it with them.